Late summer on the Elbe. How beautiful. Then the crude oil tanker Proteus Tracy came by. Her tour went from Hamburg to Skikda in Algeria. The tanker is 250 meters long, 44 meters wide, and was built in 2023. The MSC Tianping is 18 years old, 334 meters long and 43 meters wide. She was sailing from Hamburg to Rotterdam. It is always a beautiful sight when the museum ship Cap San Diego is on one of her special tours on the Elbe. She was underway to Cuxhaven. The Cap is a general cargo carrier that was built in 1962. Because of her elegant design, she was called the White Swan of the South Atlantic. Her length is 159 meters, her width 21 meters. Usually the Cap San Diego lies in the harbor of Hamburg, where she can be visited. Also, the ship is one of Hamburg's landmarks. The ship can be chartered, and you can stay overnight on her. More infos about the ship, her tours and so on can be found on the shown internet address. Coming from Fredericia in Denmark was the freighter Maestro. Built in 2004, she measures 89 to 12 meters. The 16-year-old LPG tanker Happy Condor was on tour from Butzfleet to Terneuzen in the Netherlands. Happy Condor is 120 meters long and 20 meters wide. Amina was loitering from Bremerhaven to Hamburg. She measures 158 to 24 meters and is 13 years old. The CMA CGM Rossini was driving from Felixstowe in England to Hamburg. She measures 277 to 40 meters and is 20 years old. From Tananger in Norway came the NCL Makrell. She is 139 meters long, 23 meters wide, and was built in 2006. The freighter EEMS Ranger came from Butzfleth with destination Helsingborg in Sweden. She is 90 meters long, 15 meters wide, and was built in 2009. The bulk carrier Sakizaya Respect came from Convent in the US. Built in 2018, she measures 229 to 32 meters. On tour with a speed of 17 knots from Brunsbüttel to Hamburg was Elbskipper. She is 135 meters long, 23 meters wide, and was built in 2001. The new-built container ship Cape Sable is 189 meters long and 32 meters wide. She was sailing to Rotterdam. The MSC Bérengère came from Antwerp with destination Hamburg. Built last year, she is 366 meters long and 51 meters wide. bulker Sophia R came from Ventspils in Latvia. 12 years old, she has a length of 186 meters and a width of 28 meters. We had mild weather on the dike when the Toronto Express came up the Elbe. She was sailing from Antwerp to Hamburg. Toronto Express is 294 meters long, 32 meters wide, and was built in 2003. The bulk carrier SDTR Dora was underway for order. She has a length of 229 meters and a width of 32 meters. The year she was built was 2019. The next ship that came by was the COSCO shipping Leo on her way to Antwerp. She is 400 meters long and 59 meters wide. She is 6 years old. The 134 to 23 meters measuring Bianca Rambo was on feeder tour from Hamburg to Bremerhaven. She was built in 2004. On tour to Rotterdam was Catharina Schepers. She is 12 years old, 152 meters long and 24 meters wide. Elbe 2 is a bunkering tanker that is 52 meters long and 10 meters wide. She was sailing from Cuxhaven to Hamburg. With relaxed 7 knots, the tanker Mersey came down the Elbe. She is 91 meters long, 16 meters wide, and her destination was Lübeck in Germany. She is 26 years old. Kasper Oldendorf is a bulk carrier that came from Narvik in Norway. She is 4 years old, 229 meters long and 32 meters wide. Sailing from Hamburg to Porsgrunn in Norway was the freighter Hydra. Built in 2007, she measures 89 to 12 meters. The bulker harvest time came from reserve in the US. Her length is 237 meters, her width 40 meters, and she is 9 years old. Neptunus is a 119 meters long and 17 meters wide tanker that came from Rotterdam Botlek with destination Hamburg. She was built in 2007. Slowly, it got dark. Then the container ship Tampa Triumph came by on her tour to Rotterdam. Tampa Triumph is 366 meters long, 52 meters wide, and was built in 2017. On the next day, at first, the bulk carrier Legiony Polski showed up. She was sailing from Hamburg to Bremen. Built in 2016, she is 180 meters long and 30 meters wide. Underway from Hamburg to Eastham in Great Britain was the tanker Stenberg. She is 144 meters long, 23 meters wide and 21 years old. Callao Express is a container ship from Hapag-Lloyd. Her destination port was Antwerp. Her length is 333 meters, her width 48 meters, and she was built in 2016. On tour to Hamburg was the 400 meters long container ship COSCO Shipping Scorpio. She is 59 meters wide and 6 years old. She came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. Shortly after the Scorpio, the One Harbor came by on my height. She also came from Rotterdam Maasvlakte. Built in 2007, she measures 336 to 46 meters. Underway from Hamburg to Rotterdam was the container ship Linda. She is 17 years old, 141 meters long, and 22 meters wide. Every evening in the summer season, the catamaran Hollanderjet drives home from Heligoland to Hamburg. Hollanderjet is 6 years old, 57 meters long and 14 meters wide. Here we see the catamaran with the maximum speed of 36 knots. On the next day, the freighter GT Origa came by. Her destination port was Klaipėda in Lithuania. Her length is 85 meters, her width 13 meters, and she is 31 years old. The roll-on roll-off freighter Kugelbake once more transported plane parts from Airbus from Hamburg to Nordenham. She was built in 2009, is 79 meters long and 19 meters wide. The container ship Maersk Benguela is 15 years old and was on tour to Antwerp. She is 223 meters long and 32 meters wide. The Grande Colonia is a vehicle carrier that was built in 2007. She measures 176 to 31 meters. Her tour went from Hamburg to Misurata in Libya. Mist grew stronger coming from the North Sea. Out of that mist came the MSC Desiree, a 300 meters long container ship. She is 48 meters wide and 7 years old. Her voyage started in Rotterdam Maasvlakte and was about to end in Hamburg. the 399 meters long and 54 meters wide containership CMA-CGM Vasco da Gama was on tour from Hamburg to Gdansk in Poland. She was built in 2015. Coming from Rotterdam Maasvlakte was the containership 1 Olympus. She has a length of 336 meters and a width of 46 meters. Her destination port was Hamburg. The freighter industrial skipper came from Gdansk in Poland. She is 8 years old, 145 meters long, and 23 meters wide. On tour from Cuxhaven to Butzfleth was the tanker Corelli. She was built in 2021. Her length is 100 meters, her width 14 meters. This is the Hyundai Singapore. Her tour had started in Antwerp. It was about to end in Hamburg. 18 years old, is Hyundai Singapore 304 meters long and 40 meters wide. The LPG-Tanker Moritz Schulte was underway from Butzfleth to Steenbank anchorage that lies in the region of Antwerp. Moritz Schulte is 22 years old and measures 129 to 19 meters. Started in Hamburg, the Cape Corfu was on tour to Antwerp. Built in 2021, she is 186 meters long and 35 meters wide. Every Saturday evening, the cruise ship Aida Prima starts her tour in Hamburg. This week's destination was Southampton in England. Built in 2016 in Nagasaki in Japan, the Aida Prima is 300 meters long and 38 meters wide. She can accommodate up to 3,400 passengers.